Sunday school days and my dorky ways. It's Rhyme and Reason 526.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're...
Hey there, Tony here, and it's story time again. Oh, yes, it's story time. Oh, yes, it's story time. Okay, I won't do that. Well, I just did that. Never mind. I'm going to leave that in. Back when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, that's a term that's used to be used to describe little kids. You know, I'd get to visit my aunts and uncles, and they'd say, well, you're just still knee-high to a grasshopper. You know, maybe they don't use that anymore. But back when I went to Sunday school before the grown-up church services, and you know what? I remember enjoying it. What did he say? He enjoyed it? Yeah, not just for the opportunity to show off my verse memorization skills either, because I had some skills. Sunday school had some fringe benefits. For anyone who believes Christians are prudes who only concern themselves with outdated propriety, this might come as a surprise, but for actual Christians, I think it should ring a bell, because it's real. It's real, I tell you. When I was a little boy, I never went through that phase of not liking girls. You know, I've seen that on TV shows. Little boys get to a certain age and girls just, for some reason, they don't like girls. I never went through that phase. I always liked them. And I was always smitten with them because they're so delightfully different from boys. And I didn't put those feelings on hold just because I attended Sunday school either. I still felt that same way. In fact, I look forward to being in that smaller classroom, the one that smelled like old books. For those of you who went to church, back in the day when a church was a big old building, and you go in those little rooms and they'd smell like old books and, I don't know, whatever else was, felt old to a little kid. Anyway, I always look forward to seeing what Bible verse we'd be asked to memorize. And I also looked forward to seeing that special girl with her freshly brushed hair and her sparkling eyes. You can just, right now, imagine a young girl smiling at the camera, a flash of light on her pearly whites, and that ding, pearly white sound effect. Just imagine all that. That's me as I saw it back then. I couldn't wait to impress that special girl with my Bible verse memorization skills, that we spoke of just moments ago. Because as everyone knows, and this is true, nothing impresses girls more than Bible memorization skills. Wait a minute. Do I hear some snickering in the background? I hear you over there. Well, mostly I couldn't wait till the class was over and church was over, and everyone was heading out the front doors of the church, because then I could go up to the girl and say hello. Yeah, at least if I'd ever had the nerve to do that. But what could I, a mere shy boy with amazing Bible verse memorization skills, ever say to a pretty girl? Who was I to think that she'd ever want to hear anything I might fumble around and say? Oh, yeah, good times. Well, even though it was painful to admit how shy I was around girls, I'm proud to admit I always liked them. And fortunately, my shyness gave way eventually to total confidence, because it was my confidence, not my shyness, my confidence, that ultimately won the heart of the girl of my dreams, and she's been at my mercy for over 30 years now. She's at my mercy. So, if you are a guy who is unsure of what to say to girls, there is a cure. Build confidence up high, and you could be the guy with irresistible charm and allure. I'm not saying that's me. I'm just going by what my wife tells me. Hey, you have irresistible charm and allure. She says that to me every morning, by the way. Okay, that does it for this episode of Rhyme and Reason and some silliness in my dorky ways. Thank you much. Thank you much for tuning in, y'all. Brought to you by TonyFunderburk.com, where you can still go every single time you want to over there and find that t-shirt that says, "Life has rhyme and reason because God made you."
There's a rhyme